Hi everyone, welcome. This is a short introduction to MA Internet Equalities at University of the Arts London Creative Computing Institute. Before we dive in, a little bit about me. I am Dr. Ceren Yüksel, the course leader. Prior to joining academia in 2019, I spent for about 15 years at the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, working mostly in data and system design across multiple humanitarian emergency contexts and in regional and global roles. Basically, I have built computational infrastructures that translate lived experience of forced displacement into public-facing data narratives. I left the data work in the UN with two simple questions: what else digital technologies could do, and who else they could serve beyond the institutions that have the power and resources to build, shape, and govern them. And that journey led me to design Refugee Data Minder, an online archive of humanitarian counter-narratives calling for a new mode of thinking through data about misplaced accountability in the humanitarian sector. And today, that search shapes both my research and my teaching. How to use computation to build practices that are accountable to people and not the institutions that profit from them. And those questions need the right home, a place where computing is not just code, skills, or tools, but a site of inquiry where creativity is driven by critical thinking. At Creative Computing Institute, you study alongside a wider mix of postgraduate courses surrounded by and in conversation with an interdisciplinary community of practitioners and scholars. And now that brings me to MA Internet Equalities. Equality means fair treatment and equal access to rights and opportunities. It doesn't mean everyone is the same. It means no one is disadvantaged because of who they are. Inequality lands hardest on those already pushed to the margins through race, class, gender, nationality, migration status, or disability. Digital technologies have evolved, but they haven't replaced long-standing issues of power and control. They have simply moved through the system. Our students vary in educational and professional background, but what they share is a commitment to justice and systemic change. If you also want to work with computation as part of your practice and graduate with a portfolio that shows what you can do to make change, this course is built for you. You take 2 units each term. What you see is the screenshot of our system model on the slide. Term 1 gives you the foundation to read the internet as a layered stack, human and non-human, technical and political, and to open up the black box of inequality that runs through system beneath the surface. Term 1 begins with intersectional internet, where you gain the concepts and language to name how inequality is designed into the internet, from offline to online, from infrastructure to interface. Alongside that, critical coding practices treats code as a way of thinking and investigating. You learn to use coding to question data, to see how technical structures shape what becomes recorded as data, for whom, and by whom. With that foundation in place, term 2 shifts from questioning to design practice, supported by guest lecturers and practitioners. In computational inequalities, you evidence how inequality becomes operational through computational logics like categorization, classification, ranking, and automation. Then design for social change turns evidence into direction. You make an argument through design, grounded in what you have evidenced. Term 2 sets the direction, and term 3 builds the method to get you there. So you can see an example student project on the slide, a prototype that documents accessibility barriers on a wheelchair journey. You turn a design idea into a piece of practice in methods for equitable technology development. Then in platform potentials, you learn how to change the rules, protocols, data, or interface to serve people instead of profit. By term 4, you're ready to produce a final practice output. The example on the slide is the student final project, which won both the Jury's Special Award and the Equality and Access Award at the Creative Computing Institute Winter Festival. The final project is where theory and practice meet as one. You produce a single piece of research that evidences your argument through practice, building, and making. When you apply, you submit a personal statement, a CV, and examples of your work in any format if you can. And what we look for in it is your clear motivation for joining the course. For the most up-to-date entry requirements and deadlines, you can check the course page. Beyond the core teaching, you will benefit from CCI research culture, career support, and where possible, we also support connections to external organizations and projects so you can gain experience and build professional networks. So as you graduate, you can move into civic tech, digital rights, policy, research, cultural institutions, and social innovation, often in roles that bridge analysis and making. You can find the most up-to-date scholarship options for home and international applicants on the UES scholarship search tool, and follow CCI on social channels for student work and course updates, and use the contact email you see on the slide if you have any inquiries. Well, thank you for watching. And if you would like to find out more, please do get in touch.